Hey guys, so we're going to do a quick tutorial video over Unit 3, Lesson 2. This can be a bit of a tricky lesson. There are some questions that are just a bit confusing. And so I believe that this question that I'm going to start with starts at question 14. It shows you that weird chart and it asks you to find the period, the group, and the valence electrons for this element. So we're going to go through this together. The problem asks you to find the period of that element, the group of that element, and then the sublevel of that element. So first of all, we have to figure out what this element is. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. The way that you find this element is you kind of look at the ending. Okay, so see how the ending says 4s2? That means that it's on energy level 4, sublevel S. And this is like how far over or how many blocks it is, okay? So the energy level correlates to the period typically, right? So for energy level 4, that's typically period 4. Going down are the periods and going across are the groups, okay? So energy level 4 is this energy level. You see how this says 4s right here and then 4p right here? Okay, so generally the energy level is the same as the period. So this element is on energy level 4, and then it says it's on section S, sublevel S. So looking at the colors, this light blue is the S section, right? This orange color is D, and this green color over here is P. You can also see it highlighted in these little flags right here. So see how that says 4S? So energy level 4, section S, and it says 2, which means that this element is 2 blocks over. So you just count 1, 2. So it looks like our element is calcium or Ca, because Ca is what is on row 4, section S, 2 blocks over. Okay, so our element is calcium. And now we need to identify the period, the group, and the sublevel. So what period is calcium on? It's on period 4, right? These are the periods going down. And then what group is calcium in? Calcium is in group 2, right? It's in the second group right here. So group 2. And then what sublevel? It's sublevel S. So as a hint, this tells you the row, the section, how many. You find the element, and then you list the period and the group that it's on. So let's do another example now. This is your answer for the first one. Let's do another example here, and I'll zoom in again. Let's see. Okay, so again, we need to find this element. So I'm going to circle just the ending. Okay, this is how we identify the element. This element apparently ends on row period 3. This is the period. This is the sublevel, and this is how far in. Okay. So period 3 is right here. So something on this row, okay? And then it says section P. So section P is over here, right? This is section P. So it's one of these 6 elements, and it says 2. That means that you count 2 over from the beginning of that P section. So 1, 2. This is the element right here, Si, because it's 3P2. This is row 3P and 2 over. So the element is Si. The period, first of all, we have to know the period it's on, then the group it's on, and then the sublevel. So what period is Si on? Si is on period 3. What group is Si in? Si is on group 14. See how this is the group 14? So periods are going across, groups are going up and down right here. And then what sublevel? This is the P sublevel, okay? Let's look at this next one here. I'll zoom in again. Again, just look at what it ends on, and this will help you identify the element. So what element ends on 5P5? I'm going to have you pause for a second and find the element looking at this right here. Find the element that ends on row 5, section P, 5 blocks over, okay? So 5P5, here's period 5, and you can look at the little flag. See how this says 5S? This actually says 4D. Here is 5P right here, right? And it says 5 over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, you find the row, you find the sublevel, and then you count 5 over from that. So I, or iodine, is our substance. And now we need to list the period it's on, the group it's on, and then the sublevel. So pause and see if you can identify the period, the group, and the sublevel. Iodine is on the 5th period, P5. Then what group is iodine on going up and down? It's on group 17 and sublevel P. That's where it exists as sublevel P, which correlates to this right here, right? That's our answer here. Let's look at one more right here. So again, we need to look at what it ends on. This element ends on 5D4. This is a tricky one, so I want you to pay attention. You might think that this, okay, it ends on 5D4. So this is period 5, right? Period 5. But what do you notice about the D section? The D section, it's not the same as the period. It's 4. So if you notice the P block, the D section always shifts down by 1. So when we're on the 4th row, this is the 3rd level. When we're on the 5th row, this is the 4th level. When we're on the 6th row, it's the 5th level. So it always shifts down by 1. So to find 5D5, where is 5D? 5D is actually on the 6th period right here, because as an exception, the D block shifts down by 1. So we're going down to the 6th energy level, the 6th period, and then we're going to count 4 over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So our element is W. Okay. If that confuses you, then pause, come to my classroom or text me and be like, can you give me some more examples or whatever? And I can help you out, or wait and see if the other problems help make things make sense. So what period is it on? What group is it on? And then what sublevel is it on? So for period, even though it's on 5D right here, it's actually on the 6th period. Okay. So this one is not the exact same as this is not the row here. It's actually the energy level that it's on. And so typically those are the same, but for the D section, they're not. They're down by 1. Okay. So it's still on period 6. And then what group is it on? Looking at this column right here, it's also on group 6 and then sublevel D. Okay. That one here. Now let's look at the next one here. This is a good example too. So what does this one end on? It ends on 5F6. So where is the F block? The F block is down here. So if you notice, even though the F block is on, this is on the 7th period, it's energy level 5. So just like the D block, the F block is kind of off kilter. It actually goes down by 2, right? So on the 7th period, it's energy level 5. And on the 6th period, it's energy level 4. So it said that it ends on 5F6. So here's 5F, and we're going to count 6 over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So AM is our substance. So what period, what group, and what sublevel? Well, we know that it's sublevel F, right? It's definitely sublevel F. It is on period 7, even though its energy level is 5. So it's on period 7. For the group, though, you need to know that the F block is coming out of that intersection, so it does not have a group. It's somewhere between the 3rd and the 4th group, all of those groups, right? Because they're coming out of this part right here. So they actually don't have an assigned group. So it's like they don't have one. I don't know exactly the wording that it says on your lesson, but it basically does not have a group, okay? Let's look at another example here. Now it gives us in reverse order. It wants us to write the electron configuration for this element. So we have to do it reversed. So let's identify which element is it talking about. Which element is in period 2, group 13. So pause and figure out which element that is. Here's period 2, and here's group 13. So it's somewhere on this row, and it's also got to be somewhere on this column, right? So it's got to be boron. Boron has got to be our element. So we need to write the configuration for boron. I think they want you to do it the abbreviated way. So what we do is we find the previous noble gas. The previous noble gas, remember that these are noble gases. So Ne, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it better, but Ne would be the next noble gas, right? Boron is number 5, Ne is number 10. So for the previous noble gas, it would need to be He. Remember, these are the noble gases in this column right here. So to find the previous one, you just find the one that has the next lower number than the element you're on. So it's He. And now we're going to start where He left off, and we're going to write the configuration. So it means that we've already done these two. So now what row are we on? What period? We're on period 2. This is section S. And then how many elements are in section S? Just section S. 2 of them, right? 2s2. And now we're going across. So we're still on row 2, but now we're on section P. See how this is the P block? And then how far in until we get to boron? Only one until we get to boron. So boron's electron configuration would be this right here. We'll do some more examples so that it makes a little bit more sense. Okay, this one goes back to the other way. I might come back to it in a minute, but I'm going to actually, no, we can go ahead and do it. So this one ends on 4p6. So what element ends on 4p6? Pause the video if you need to find it. It's good to try it on your own first. So what element is it? Well, this is the 4p section right here, right? 4p6. So starting in the p section, we got to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Kr is the element. And now we just list what period is it on, what group is it on, and what sublevel. Okay, so pause it to figure it out. Krypton is on period 4, right? Right here on this period. And then what group is it on? It's on group 18. It's a noble gas. And it's sublevel P. Okay, so for our next problem here, it gives us the period, the group, and it asks us to write the electron configuration. So this is period 6, group 9. Okay, so what element is on period 6 in group 9 right here? What element would that be? When you scoot over like that, I'm seeing that it would be IR, period 6 in group 9, right? So we need to write the electron configuration for IR. So we need to find the previous noble gas to IR. Remember, these are noble gases over here. IR is number 77. So when you look at the noble gases, Xe would be the previous one because Rn is too far up. It's above 77. We need the previous noble gas. Okay, so we're going to put that in brackets. And what that means is we have to start where Xe left off. So what happens after Xe? Well, we're on row 6 or period 6. And what section do we hit first? We hit the S section first, right? This is S in the light blue. How many elements are in this S section? 1, 2, okay? And then if you notice, this purple kind of comes out of that D block right here. So we're gonna go ahead and do the purple next because it is coming out of that. So we're gonna do this part next. So this is 4F, if you see that right here, 4F. And how many elements are here in the F section? If you were to count all of these, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, there are 14 elements here. And we listed that because it's coming out of that row. We just didn't have enough space to write it, and so we dropped it down. And now we're on the D section. The D section is called 5D, okay? So 5D. Even though we're on period 6, see how it says 5D? And now we count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5D, 7. So see how we're just crossing everything out until we get to that element, and you list the row, the section, and how many. The row, the section, and how many. So if you totaled up these numbers, it should lead you over to that element if you're tracking it the right way. So that's the answer to this one. Question 10, period 4. Sorry, I'm seeing how many questions we have left. Let's see. Yeah, we're almost done here. So period for group 18, would be, so what element is on period 4 and group 18? That would be KR, right? KR. So I'm going to do this a little bit quicker. The previous noble gas to KR is AR, right? And starting where AR is left off, after AR is this period here, which is 4S. How many are in this section? 2. 2 of them here. And now we're on the 3D section. You see how this is 3D? And how many elements are here? 10. And now we're on the 4P section. And then how many elements till I get to krypton? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is my answer for this one. Okay. Next one, period 5, group 2. So here's period 5, here's group 2. So we're dealing with SR, right? Period 5, group 2. So what is the previous noble gas to SR? These are the noble gases here. It would be KR. It actually tells you right here as well, I guess. And then now we list the row that comes after KR, which is 5, the section, and then this is SR right here. It is ending on the second one like that, 5S2. So this is our answer right here. All right, 2 more questions. Last one, second to last one, period 3, group 17. That would be Cl. Okay. The previous noble gas, it actually tells you right here that it's Ne. So starting where Ne is left off, we list the row, which is row 3, the section, which is S, and then how many are in that section. Now we've done this section and we got to keep scooting over. We're still on row 3, but now it's section P. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3P, 5. Okay. All right. So that's our answer for the second to last one there. And then our last question here, it gives us the information and we have to find the period in the group. So what element ends on 4S1? Well, here's row 4. Here's section S. And we're talking about the first one right here, which is K, right? 4S1. Okay, so that would be K, and we need to list the period, the group, and then the sublevel. I'm going to let you try on this one to identify the period, the group, and the sublevel based on the information that you see there for K. If you have any follow-up questions, write them down, come back to my classroom, and try to be specific and be like, okay, I didn't understand this question, or when you do this part, I'm having trouble understanding how you're writing it all out. Like, try to be specific if you can, but I'm happy to help you if you still need help.